What is going on, Bulls Nation? So we're in the aftermath of the Josh Giddey trade, and after some time to process, we're going to talk about how I feel about this trade, and I want to hear about you too. So let's talk about it right after this.
This is your home for all things Chicago Bulls. Join the conversation. You're listening to Chicago Bulls Nation.
All right, Bulls Nation. So the Josh Giddey trade is done, and I wasn't a big fan of it. But it's funny because the Bulls uploaded this video and it's in 480p. I think they felt the wrath of the fans because there is a lot of people who are upset at this trade for different reasons. One of them is they love Caruso, and rightfully so. Caruso has been what Chicago was all about, the hustle. He reminds you a lot of, like, to say, Kirk Heinrich, and he's a very easy player to love. I didn't like the trade, not because of, we got rid of Caruso. I understand why we got rid of Caruso. We got to move forward. And actually acquiring Josh Giddey is a good step in the right direction, meaning we finally picked a lane, and that is to get younger, and maybe we're gonna play more of our young guys, with Josh Giddey in the mix here. What I'm mostly upset about is the return that we got. Like I mentioned before, I don't hate Josh Giddey. I hate the fact that he's the only one that we got for our best asset, and that is Alex Caruso. Like, if we traded Zach LaVine for Josh Giddey, I would have been ecstatic. But since we traded away our best asset, our best bargaining chip, that is what irks me. Now, as far as Josh Giddey himself, looking at his highlights, because the Bulls uploaded this, like, to hype up the fans, because, there was a lot of reservation when it comes to Josh Giddey, and rightfully so. The guy was non-existent against the Mavs. He was exposed. Like, he was playing 12 minutes a game. In the playoffs, the Mavs put centers on him because he couldn't shoot. And for those who are saying that, hey, he improved his three-point shooting throughout his career, which is technically true, but a stat also came out where if a defender, if he was wide open, he'll make like 34% of his three-pointer. When a defender is within 6 feet of him, he shot 19%, which is horrendous. Especially if we're asking him in a league right now where shooting is at a premium, and that is why centers were put on him, and they were backing down on him. They gave him the Russell Westbrook treatment, where I dare you to shoot and make me pay for it, and he did not. And this is what is the title in here too, is but on the flip side to that, though, I would say there is a lot of upside when it comes to Josh Giddey. He's still only 21 years old. He's a very good passer. Good court vision, as you can see there. He's not, I would say he's not horrible on defense. He's not Alex Caruso, no one is, but he's a serviceable defender. Maybe he can learn to shoot. It's funny, they talk about, hey, Kobe White improve his shooting dramatically, even Iota Sumu. But yeah, we can now make an argument that the Thunder has the best development team in the league, and he didn't really develop all that much. But we'll see. He's a part of the Bulls team now. I am gonna root for him. I'm never gonna root for our team. Maybe this year I will be, because I want us to get a high lottery pick, if not the number one pick for next year's draft. If there's any time to tank, this would be the year. This upcoming season. So so San Antonio can't get our top 10 protected pick, and maybe it's a pretty good class of draft pick coming up. Now, this roster is not complete. I hope that the Bulls would do them a favor, and also Josh Giddey, by acquiring more young players around him, and maybe shooters to mask, because now that you get him, he needs the ball in his hand, and also you get him, that kind of takes away the ball out of Kobe's hand. Maybe it's going to be good for Kobe because, the pressure's not going to be on him, but now the race is on to trade Zach LaVine. Hopefully we do get, draft picks. That's what I wanted. I wanted draft picks, not actual players. One downside to Josh Giddey, though, is that he's eligible for extension. So if he Zach Levine us, by that I mean put up good numbers but doesn't affect winning, please do not sign him for max. We're really trying to get rid of Zach, and that contract is haunting us right now. That haunted us to build a good team. So if Josh Giddey does that to us, meaning put up great numbers on a losing team, we've been there before. So if he wants to walk away, let him walk away. And speaking of walking away, this just Sam Presti on his presser, just a total head scratcher from the Bulls organization as well. So Sam Presti just revealed that Josh Giddey basically asked for a trade because they are planning to put Josh Giddey as a sixth man. This is how ineffective he was throughout the playoffs, and they saw his inefficiencies. So meaning the guy is looking for a new home, kind of like what we have with Zach Levine. And guess what? We're having trouble finding a home for Zach Levine. Why did we buy so high with Josh Giddey? I understand the fascination for Josh Giddey, but this was the time to buy low. Yet AK and Mark Eversley decided, you know what? F being low, man. We are going to go all in. And we're going to trade our best asset for Josh Giddey. Man, I'm all for getting Josh Giddey. I am intrigued by the potential. But boy, you put yourself in the corner there. And kudos to Sam Presti. He's a great general manager. He didn't wait till this gets out in the public that, or get a tantrum, because the moment it reaches to that, the value of the player just drops significantly because you lose your leverage. He's unhappy. He wants to be traded, so you're gonna get pennies for the dollar. Just that's what's happening to Zach Levine. Zach Levine's still a very capable player, still a very good player. Maybe not the number one option, but now we are gonna have to contend with expiring contract for Zach and basically scraps for what we're gonna get. And you know what? At this point, I'm okay with that. I'm okay because Zach doesn't want to be here. Zach doesn't want to be here, so ship him elsewhere. Ideally, you get draft picks, but if you don't, take expiring, tank next year. If you want to sign DeRozan, go ahead and do so. This roster is you're gonna suck anyway. Josh Giddey has a lot of potential, but by getting rid of Caruso, your defense is gonna take a significant hit from a team that's not already good defensively. So either we're purposely tanking, or if we are not, we are going to tank anyway because of the construction of this roster. So the only confusing thing about this is that, they bought high. Maybe, I'm sure they didn't know about the Josh Giddey situation. I wish they had an idea, because everyone watched that series against Dallas and knew that Josh Giddey's stock was low. So that was a perfect time to buy low, yet they still bought high. Alex Caruso would have been a high sell, coming off 2 Defensive Player of the Year, and yet they opted for a guy on the last contract deal and decided to ship out our best asset. It's confusing, but who cares, right? Like, it's done now. We have Josh Giddey. I wish the best for him as a Bulls fan. I hope we see significant growth a la Kobe White. But with that being said, I don't mind if he also sucked for this year. It's to help us tank, and not only that, to help us get that number 1 pick, and also to kind of lowball him for that next, contract extension that he is up for. Because the last thing you want for Giddey is that even if he does have a good season, is to sign him long term with that fat contract a la Zach Levine. But thank you for watching. I would love to hear your thoughts on Josh Giddey trade. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.